Good morning, A6. It is Tuesday morning, January 5. I hope you guys all had an awesome Christmas break and got some time to rest and play with your family and play outside. So, I'm going to give you today's math video. And I didn't give you a math video yesterday, but Monday's math and Tuesday's math is the same idea, okay, the same topic. So once I teach today's lesson and you watch it, you can choose to work on Monday's work or Tuesday's work. And you know what I would tell you guys? Just pick one, because Monday's worksheet looks like this, some story problems, and then a little follow-up worksheet. And Tuesdays is the same thing, but just different problems. So my thought was to just give you extra practice, but looking at this now, guys, this is quite a bit of work. So I would say maybe forget about Monday's work, put it aside for a rainy day and snowy day, and let's just do Tuesdays together, okay? Now, Miss Sheila kind of said the same thing about Monday for her reading. She did not post a reading video for Monday, but she says that you guys know what you're doing and you've seen those worksheets before, so you should be all set. Do what you can. Do not spend 6 hours catching up. Some of you are only going to get this work on Wednesday, and then you're going to be 2 days behind. But that's okay. Don't worry about that, okay? Work at it at your own pace. There'll be days you'll work longer, days you'll work shorter. We have a workshop coming up where you don't have school. We have a holiday, Martin Luther King Day. So those are all days that you can catch up if you need to, okay? You can save your finished work in a folder that I gave you if you want to, or save it somewhere else. But if we need to send out again or have another pickup day, I'd like to pick up all that work you've been doing for these next couple weeks, okay? Also, you'll notice remote is only supposed to be this week and next, but just in case, I added a few extra worksheets. So that's why you'll see like a week 3. That's just in case we're not back here in school, okay? So for today's math lesson, we've got a whole bunch of story problems. And what we're going to do is I gave everybody one of these in a plastic sheet. We call them our whiteboards, with a marker. I didn't give you an eraser because I bet you know what you could use for an eraser at home. If you have an old pair of socks that you don't wear anymore, ask your grown-ups if you can borrow a sock for an eraser, since that's what we do in class. But if not, you can use a rag or a paper towel. Works the same. So anyways, let's start by reading the story problem together, and then I kind of made a big picture here of what your whiteboard looks like. So after we read the story problem, we're going to use the strategy today of filling in a number bond and a fact family to help us find the answer, okay? So let's start with, if you have your worksheet in front of you, if you want to get it out and do it with me, I'm going to read the first story problem. You ready? Point your fingers, ready? 1, 2, 3. There were 3 mice in the barn. Then 2 more mice came in. How many mice are in the barn now? One more time. There were 3 mice in the barn. Then 2 more mice came in. How many mice are in the barn now? So go ahead and grab this, okay? And we want to fill in, remember, these are your parts to the story, and this is your whole, okay? Now, this story is a putting together story because we started with one part, which was the 3 mice, and then 2 more came along. So we've got our 2 parts right there. So let's fill them in. Okay, so on your whiteboard, there's our 3 mice that we started with, and then there's our 2 more. Okay, so we know we're looking for the whole. This is an adding problem. We're looking for the total, the whole. So if we start filling in our number sentences, we're going to get our answer. So let's start at our first adding sentence. You know that when we add our 2 parts. Remember? Part, whole. We put our parts together. So we know we have a 3 plus 2. Now, these word problems are pretty easy for you. You're adding and subtraction. They're within 10, okay? And that's because we want you to get this strategy down first, and then you'll get some harder ones where you might have to draw a picture or something like that, okay? But for this one, I know. I'm not even asking if you know the answer. I know you know that 3 plus 2 is 5. So look, guys, we filled in one number sentence, and that gave us the answer to our whole. So let's put our whole in, but then let's fill out the rest of the fact family. Remember, we can always make 4 number sentences out of one story problem because you know what? Some people like to add, some people like to subtract. Did you know you can choose? You can choose the way to solve the story problem if you know how to fill in your number bond. So let's keep going. We have another addition sentence. We know, what's that called? We're just going to do a switcheroo. I'm going to put my parts in different places, but again, my whole stays the same at the end. Now, subtraction. For those of you that like subtraction, you might have said this to me. You might have said, oh, miss, I can turn that addition problem into a subtraction problem. When we subtract, we always start with the whole, the biggest number. If I start with my whole, oh, and look what I can do. Should I fill it in right away? Some of you like to do that. You like to fill in the parts you know right away. 5 minus, and now guys, just go back up here to our family. Now we just have to fill in our 2 parts, okay? Remember, 5, 3, and 2 are the only members of this family, okay? You cannot use different numbers. If you're using different numbers, you're going to the neighbor's house, okay? This is one family. We only use 5, 3, and 2. So we know that 5 minus, pick a part. You can pick either one. Let's do 3. 5 minus 3, we know it equals 2 because it's part of the family. It's the baby sister. Okay? One more time. 5 minus, this time we can switcheroo. Let's put the baby sister first maybe and end with the brother, or whatever you want to call them in your family, okay? So, we read the story problem, we filled out a number bond, we filled out our number sentences on here. Now we have our answer for our first problem. Now, what was our answer, guys? Was our answer 5, 3, or 2? Because it could be any one of those numbers, depending what the question is. So let's go back to the question. How many mice are in the barn now? How many now means how many in all. And your whole is 5, okay? So on your paper, you could write 5 bananas. Monkeys? No, 5 mice. So, we have solved this first one, okay? Let's do one more together, okay? So what you're going to do now is erase all of your work in your whiteboard. It's going to take me a little longer because I got to be careful here. And we'll read our next story problem. We will fill in our number bond and our fact family, and then we will write our answer. Okay? Ready? Point your fingers and let me see. I want to skip down to the very last one. Okay, the very last one starts, there were 8 blue balloons in the sky. Can you guys find that one? Okay, there's a reason I want to skip down to that one. Point your fingers at, there were 8 blue balloons. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There were 8 blue balloons in the sky. 2 of them popped. How many were left in the sky? One more time. There were 8 blue balloons in the sky. 2 of them popped. How many were left in the sky? Right now, you should probably be telling yourself, this is a takeaway problem because I started with 8, but 2 of them popped. So let's go up to our number bond. This time, we know what our whole is. We know how many we had in all. And that was 8. Okay, so fill in 8 for your whole. When you have a takeaway problem, they will always give you the whole and one part. But then guess what? You got to figure out the other part, okay? So one part that they gave us, what's the other number they gave us in the story? They told us something. They told us that 2 of them popped. So 2 is one of our parts, okay? We have to find out the other one. Now, since this sounded like a takeaway story, I want to skip all the way down here to my subtraction sentence, and I want to put what I know in there. I know we're starting with 8, because that is the whole. Should I even fill it in down here? Sure. Okay. So now, we have to fill in our family. And this family is 8, 2, and something else. We got to figure out what the little sister is. So let's fill in our part that we do know. And now we got to find our answer. Okay? I told you guys that these were not super hard problems. You probably don't even need to draw a picture for this. We can start at 8 and we can count down 2 times. Ready? 8 is in your head. 8, 7, 6. 6 is my missing part. I can fill it in up here. And now I can start filling in the rest of my fact family. 8 minus, oh, we already used 2 here. We can't use it here. So let's use 6 equals 2. Let's go back up to our number sentences. By the way, could I use a 9 in this story? Or a 7? No, those would be the families down the road. Those are the neighbors. You can only use this family. Okay? So when I go to my addition sentence, I know when I add my parts. So I got to start with my parts. 2 plus 6 equals my whole. And now I can do a switcheroo. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Okay, now remember I have to write the answer, but I don't remember what the story asked me. I don't remember if the answer is 8, 2, or 6. You probably remember. So let's go back and read the question. We know there were 8 balloons in the sky. So that's not the answer. They told it to us. They wouldn't tell us the answer. 8 is not the answer. There were 8 balloons in the sky. 2 of them popped. How many balloons are left? They gave us 8. They gave us 2. What is our answer? What's our only number left that we figured out on our own? I'll write mine and let's see if we get the same one. You guys are going to write with pencil, not marker on your paper, right? 6 balloons. Okay, don't forget to put your answer, your number answer, and label it so I know if you're talking about kangaroos or not, okay? So after you have done all of these on your whiteboard and found your answers, those are practice, when you flip your page over, you've got 2 more story problems, and they just want you to fill in the number bond and the fact family, just like you practiced doing already, okay? So remember, you can put Mondays away for now. Don't worry about it. Work on Tuesdays. Miss is just checking to make sure if that's a good plan first. I think you can. I think you can do it. Okay? So work on Tuesday, and if you have any questions, if you're not sure, if you're stuck on one, my laptop will be open all day. You can send me a message and you can say, Miss, I'm stuck on this one here. I had an apple with 8 slices. I ate some. Now I have 1 slice left. How many did I eat? You can ask me and I can come on and help you out. Okay, I can do a video with you if you need me to and help you out. So what's taking Miss so long to notice here, guys, is I'm looking at Tuesday. And Tuesday has a lot of missing part stories, okay? So when you hear there were some children on the playground, you're going to know that you're going to have some missing parts, okay? So, for example, some goats were eating in the hayfield, and then 5 more joined them. Now there are 8 goats in the field. How many goats were first in the field? You know that's your missing part. So if you fill in this, you should be able to find your missing parts. And Miss is just checking to see if they're all missing parts. You know what, guys? I think they're all missing parts. So what that means is every story you're going to have a whole given to you. It's going to give it to you. It's going to be the biggest number and a part. Okay? So you're going to have to solve for that missing part. Put in what you know. Okay? And you should be able to work it out. I will be on all day. Message me and I can help you through your work. Have a good day, and I will post the rest of my videos for the week a little bit later on. So work for today just on Tuesday or on Mondays. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.